Hi, welcome back. My natural hair has come out to play for this video. It's a rare occasion, but you know, sometimes I just let her down and let her have a fun time. So for today's video, I'm gonna be chatting about some new high-end as well as some new drugstore launches, primarily the new E.L.F. Cookies and Dream collection. Yes, this is their No Budge shadow sticks, which you know I featured in my 2021 affordable favorites for cream eyeshadows. E.L.F. is sponsoring a portion of this video for me to share the new Cookies and Dreams collection with you. It's kind of like a mix of really nice neutrals. Think of like creamy browns and whites, what you would expect from a Cookies and Dreams color palette, but there are a few pops of blue throughout. So I have a little like duochrome situation happening on my eye, just a small little pop. I wanted to challenge myself to kind of make this feel wearable because I know blue can be intimidating. And honestly, I think the eye look turned out beautiful. It might be my favorite eye look that I've done this year. But I'm gonna share a little bit more about this collection. It also smells like cookies and cream. So let's just go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so for my base today, I'm gonna be using the new Rose Ink Skin Enhance Luminous Tinted Serum. So this is very much I just talked about the Chanel Fresh Water Tint. This is very much that vibe. However, I will say the Rose Ink ones come in a better color selection. So I picked up the shade 020 and I have not had the opportunity to try this on my skin yet. When I swatch this, it does seem like it has a little bit more pigment than the water tint does. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply one pump to one side of my face. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, she's definitely got a lot more pigment than the water tint does immediately. So it does look super natural on the skin. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side with a brush because I think this product is marketed alongside an actual application brush. So I'm gonna see if I prefer applying that way. Not too shabby, honestly. I like the amount of coverage that it's giving. It's definitely serving super sheer, natural coverage vibes, not picking up on anything on my skin. So colors spot on match. I mean, finally, I feel like the past few products I've purchased, definitely have not been my shade. So E.L.F. actually sent me their brand new powder foundation. This is their pressed powder foundation, and I thought it would pair nicely with a really light coverage base like this. But first, I do want to go in with just a little bit of concealer to conceal a bit of my redness and brighten my under eye. So I'm taking my McGrath Concealer, and I'm just gonna apply a few dots before we go in with powder foundation. So this is the E.L.F. Camo Powder Foundation. I have it in the shade 205N. I'm gonna take a flat top brush because I am kind of intrigued to see. Oh yeah, this has quite a bit of coverage to it. I can tell when I tap my brush into this that it's super creamy. I think powder foundations are one of the hardest products to find at the drugstore that actually perform as a powder foundation, that actually give coverage, because I feel like they're marketed a lot as powder foundation, but they're really just pressed powders with super sheer coverage. This has a lot of coverage. I mean, like, I'm barely tapping my brush in because I don't want to go overboard, but I could definitely add probably a couple more layers of coverage with this if I really wanted to. I mean, my face is fully covered right now. Like that skin tint, it did a little bit of work, but yeah, no redness peeking through. I feel like my base is super smooth. Color is a dead on match for me too. It was 205 neutral. Really can't complain about that. So moving on, I'm gonna take a bit of my E.L.F. Putty bronzer. This is a darker shade, so I have to be a little bit more careful with it. But this tends to blend out pretty well. This is also a really dry cream bronzer formula, so you shouldn't have to worry about using it on top of powder products. Would this be a good time to just address the elephant in the room and use this black lip gloss? Because I'm curious, when I swatch it, it definitely just has kind of like a gray hue, but since I've got a little bit of something going on, I feel like we should just go ahead and see what this looks like. I mean, she's definitely serving gray vibes. I think this would look good on top of something a little bit more like brown on the lips, more of like maybe a chestnut, even like a cool mauve undertone lipstick. But I wanted to give it a shot because I have an idea for what I want to use the other lip products for at the end of this. I know you all were curious just like I was. Okay, this is Pearl Beauty Cream Blush. This is Alana McGowan's makeup line. I love her. I have been watching her since she started her channel. We become friends throughout the years, and she sent me these when they did their launch, and I did a little Instagram video, but I've not had the opportunity to actually use them on camera. So I'm gonna use the shade Easy Going. This is one of my favorites from the 4 colors that she launched. And it's just a super natural, almost kind of like a little bit of an apricot undertone to it. I think she did a really good job with the color lineup too, because there's a nice cool tone pink. There's a deep shade that I use as a bronzer in my travel makeup kit. It's called Real Depth. I love that one. And then there's a shade called Girl Next Door. It's kind of like a bubbly pink. So there's kind of a shade for every single person. And you can also use these on your lips. I think that adds a nice little glow back into my skin. I always like to add some type of cream or liquid on top of my powder products, just to give them a little bit more life. I feel like I need a little bit more glow, so I have the E.L.F. Jelly Pop Glow Stick, and I'm just going to pop this on the back. Ooh, I forgot. So nostalgic. It smells like watermelons. But this is a very dewy and wet looking highlighter, so it's going to make, you know, my skin look like technically I'm not wearing a powder foundation, but I have the coverage of a powder foundation. Actually looks really lovely on top of powder. It's not too overwhelming. Honestly, my skin looks flawless. I'm not used to, you know, covering everything on the regular, but when I do lean for especially a pressed powder foundation, I know that that's what I'm expecting. And my skin looks really smooth. Okay, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna take the shade Cookie Lover in the No Budge Shadow Stick, and it's kind of like, it's got some sparkle in it, but to me it kind of just translates as like a matte brown. And then I'm gonna work with a few shades in the actual palette, and we're gonna have a little fun with this guy right here. It's like a duochrome baby blue, but it's got this, I don't know, like a slight silver, maybe tad bit of purple shift to it, but I'm interested to see how it's going to look paired up against a nice soft creamy brown. So to start off with, I think I'm just going to take a couple shades from the palette first. I'm going to take the matte white and kind of like this fawn tone. I'm going to mix those two together, and I just want that to be a base all over my lids because I have pretty pale lids, and I just want to add a touch of like a transitional shade before we start. All right, so now I want to take the shadow stick and kind of give my eyes a little bit more definition. The shadow stick blends out super seamlessly. These were in my 2021 favorite affordable products video. As far as accessibility goes and price-wise, I think these are some of the best ones you can find at the drugstore when it comes to cream eyeshadows. So you really just pick up on there is a little bit of shimmer in this, and you just pick up on it ever so slightly. I mean, from the camera's angle right now, I feel like this is just showing up pretty matte. Okay, now for the fun part. I'm just gonna take the dual chrome blue on my finger, and I'm gonna pop that in the center of the lid. It's like really pigmented. I wasn't expecting it to be that pigmented, but I like the vibe. It's just a fun little pop, you know, if you're not into color, and like me, I'm not a super colorful person when it comes to my makeup. Every now and then I do enjoy a good duochrome. So just for a little bit more of a blue pop, I've applied the baby blue. It's called Chill Zone to the inner corner of my lower lash line. I'm going to finish off my inner corner with this nice little champagne tone that is in the palette. There's two. There's a matte and then there's a shimmer tone. So I'm using the shimmery one. Okay, of course my camera wasn't recording and I've got most of my mascara done, but this is the new Milk Makeup Rise Mascara. I like it. It's very natural but also separating, and I feel like it makes a difference in, I mean, obviously, definitely makes a difference in my lashes, which is hard to do. A lot of mascaras really don't make that big of a difference. So I just picked up a little mini to try out, and so far so good with it. Okay, I'm going to keep my lips super neutral so we can pop off with the baby blue gloss. So I've got the NARS lip pencil in the shade Vents. It's just a very soft neutral lip color. I really just want it to make my lips look a little bit bigger, and then the gloss can be the star of the show. I have a feeling it's just probably going to be more like a semi-sheer. And I'm just going to top that off with this. It's called Brain Free. On my bottom lip, the blue does kind of peek through a little bit, but yeah, I would say almost just like applying a clear gloss, but does make the lips look nice and juicy. We do love a good clear gloss for that. Okay, honestly, I'm very surprised. I think the eyes are cute. I mean, that's all I'm gonna say, like, period. I think the eyes are cute. Nice little subtle pop of duochrome. I did this with a green color the other day, and I don't know, I've just really been enjoying it. The powder foundation has me a little shook. It's very good coverage, and obviously E.L.F is notorious for being super affordable, and for years I just have felt like the drugstore has lacked in really good, smooth, higher coverage quality powder foundations. But so I would say the powder foundation is definitely having a moment right now. It's showing great promise. I really like the way it's sitting on my skin and how smooth the finish was on it. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing some of these new products in action. I'm gonna have links to the E.L.F. Cookies and Dreams collection down below. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.